Right, welcome back. And back to you, Dr. Hamdy. And as we've seen in this report, how many funds were taken into consideration by the state during the past period in the Sinai Peninsula. If we get back to three important issues, the Suez Canal, the economic zone, the services, population that has to be transferred into this, because it's a huge part of our land, and we don't, and population in there are not equal to its capacity. So let me here first take the Suez Canal and the economic zone and potentials of those.
Well, Suez Canal is giving a unique services worldwide, whereas a vessel used to be transiting the canal from the east to west. Actually, I read yesterday an article, we were talking about 8% or 10% of the value of the international trade used to cross the canal, and about 12% out of the volume. But nowadays, 30% of the container trade used to cross the canal. It means that it's very prosperous because, you know, people are now relying on container. And that's why when we construct the Sokhna port and the Portside East port, they were not in the map of the services yet, up till the containerization becoming booming in the 21st century, since January 2000 or something. Nowadays, we are relying on them, lots of development are being taken care of because of the containerization. Because nowadays, when you sell something, you said, for instance, the minimum order per shipment for this chair is 300 pieces to be stuffed in 120-feet container dry van. So the containerization is now changing the whole world into the right track. Egypt are hosting in Suez Canal 30% of the transiting the canal for the containerization.
Especially after the new Suez Canal
the new branch is giving the whole world an advantage of saving 10 hours out of the international trade per day. It's 3,650 hours per year. If you calculate how many dollars per hour the international trade used to participate in the whole world, so Egypt is giving 3,650 hours saving for this international trade, which is something really unique. But Suez Canal as you know, as a canal transiting the vessel is not only the rule should played for Egypt, and that's why the economic zone is giving us a new, you know, idea of how to use the Suez Canal the way it should be. This 30% of the containerized cargo used to cross the canal could be 50% or more, because if we settle some industry in this zone using the containers for import and export, this will increase the containerized cargo of Egypt from 6 million containers
it's a service. It's a service.
Of course, it's a logistic service. And even though we call it a logistic corridor, by the way, the Suez Canal in the economic zone, we call it one of the international logistics corridor, connecting the 192 kilometer of an area ready to offer all the logistical services in this area, serving the industry, the agriculture, the tourism, and the heavy industry as well. And the mining, we need to export this or to use these resources in producing in the products and export it. So Sinai is going to help Egypt really add at least 10% of GDP for the coming 5 or 10 years.
Indeed. Mind you said that before the 7th of October eruption of the Gaza incidents, We've seen during during September the largest ever revenue that came from the Suez Canal.
Yes, exactly.
In the Egyptian history.
And the biggest number of vessels used to cross was
Yes.
in Friday, 21st of April, whereas we received 82 vessels per one day, which is very high numbers actually.
Indeed. Recently, the Prime Minister has visited El Arish
Yes.
in North Sinai to follow up on the projects that are carried out there. And there were some statements, some very important statements the Prime Minister said from there. One of which was that the country would, or no country would think about giving up a piece of land or any part of its land to any other party, while at the same time investing 610 billion pounds in it. How was that taken?
Well, actually, they have their plans and you have ours. And we should have to stick with our plans, regardless the others' plan. Because we have our own developing plan in this area, whereas it will gonna affect positively our economy. Not only that, but socially we can move Egyptian families to this area and establish new cities. By the way,
we are
before,
on that.
yes, exactly. Before in 1869, the inauguration of the Suez Canal, there was no Ismailia or Suez or port side. There were some small village for fisheries or for farming. But nowadays, it's real cities. We have at least 4 million inhabitants live in this area. How about the other the other side of this area? I mean, in Sinai, we have better investment environment, very healthy investment atmosphere there could be taken care of in this area. Using what we have been talking about, the industry and the services, the logistics services is essential. We should have to establish at least 3 very big logistics centers in this area, serving all these projects all together and connecting them all together in order to reach a real logistics spot in the Arab countries. And this would serve the whole Arab country, not only Egypt. And that's why I was smiling when you asked the question, that because, you know, people are having their own plans in this area, whereas it's against ours. But this is our land since 1,100 years
people
before the
have plans for our lands.
Yeah, we have.
They don't mix.
We are saying point now.
They don't mix. They don't. People can have all their dreams in their own lands, not on ours.
I have never seen any Egyptian visited Sinai and they came back upset. People used to come back very happy that we have this area. It's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
In everything.
And it's our precious lands, and it
exactly,
always
and the Holy
like that.
Land for the whole dogmatic
Yes,
people.
indeed.
I mean, Islam, Jews.
Unfortunately,
and
my time is out. I would have carried out with talking about this very precious part of our lands. Endless, yes, indeed. Dr. Hamdy Barghout, Professor of Transport Economics, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And dear viewers, I guess that takes us to the end of this episode. Tomorrow will be another important debate with another colleague. Good night.